If you've ever wondered which of the 3 lightest Laura Geller shades is right for you, then this is the video you want to watch. In today's video, I am going to try out the lightest shade and we are going to compare the 3 different ones, as well as go through my latest Laura Geller haul. So stay tuned for more. There are some really great offers available on the Laura Geller website at the moment. They are in fact offering 60% off site-wide, and if you use the code WB20 you will get an additional 20% off until the end of the year. And with that in mind, I have done a little bit of a Laura Geller haul. I kind of stocked up on some of the other products that I haven't yet tried. Laura Geller obviously is really well known for the Bake, Balance and Brighten foundation, and today we are going to compare the 3 lightest shades to see which one is right for you. And we're also going to dabble with some of these other new products and do a full face while we are at it. So let's start with the key theme for today, which is comparing the 3 lightest shades of the Baked, Balance and Brighten foundation. Now, I first bought the shade Fair. So if you want to see me using the foundation Fair, I have a video using that. Then for some reason I decided to go darker and try the next shade up, which is the Light. So I also have videos using the shade Light. But when I look at those videos, as much as the end result looks really good, the foundation is very, very golden in tone, and my skin is more of a neutral shade. So I wanted to try that very lightest one, Porcelain. I've always assumed it was going to be too light for me, and today may prove to be the truth, but I wanted to give it a go. And then if you are, stuck between Porcelain, Fair and Light, then hopefully seeing the 3 different foundations in action might give you a bit more indication of which one is going to be right for you. Okay, let's start by taking a look at these 3 different shades in the pans. Now, this is interesting to me because on the website I would say it's pretty difficult to distinguish between Porcelain, Fair and Light. They're all looking very, very similar. But in real life, I would say there is quite a big difference here. I think my instinct probably first of all to pick Fair was correct. However, it did still look quite golden, despite that one being described as, I think, slightly cool on the website. It doesn't look very cool to me. It's just not as golden as the Light shade. Now, the Porcelain, that is looking very, very light, isn't it? Much lighter than the Fair and the Light shades. So we are going to give the Porcelain a go today, but there is every possibility that this is going to be too light for my skin tone. But I want to demonstrate it anyway so that we have the comparison of the 3. I have also bought the concealer in Porcelain as well today, which is something I've not tried before. So we may get a bit more coverage today, given that I'm going to also use a concealer. Let us start things off with the Skin Perfecting Primer Spackle. Okay, so I am going to go in with the shade Porcelain. Please bear in mind that I think this is too light, but we're using it as a sort of demonstration to see what the Porcelain shade actually looks like in practice. So here is how the Laura Geller Baked, Balance and Brighten in the shade Porcelain looks on my skin. I would say this is definitely a cooler toned shade than the other 2. I think the Light is very, very golden. The Fair is sort of somewhere between cool and golden. And I would say this is very cool and light actually. So I don't completely hate the shade. I actually think it looks quite nice on the skin. But the telltale for me that a foundation is too light is if my eyes start to look a bit pink. For me, that's an indication that it's too light. The skin itself is looking very nice, but against my features, around my eyes, for example, my eyes are starting to look very pink. We are going to continue with the porcelain theme though and see it through to the end. And so I am going to use the concealer as well. Okay, the concealer is very, very pale on my skin, and this has rapidly turned into how do you know when your foundation and concealer are too light for you tutorial. I think I'm demonstrating perfectly what happens when your base is too light. Your face becomes very, very light, and your features start to look very red, raw and strange within your face. I'm certainly going to be titling this video, How to Know When Your Foundation is Too Light. But do you know what? In the interests of research, we are going to plough on with the rest of the makeup on top of this very light, pale base. And lucky for me, in my haul is also this Baked Body Frosting Face and Body Glow, and this is in Tahitian Glow. So basically, we're hoping that this bronzer is going to maybe save the day a little bit. So I'm not sure I'd recommend this approach, but hopefully we have livened things up a little bit using this bronzer. Next up in my haul is this Baked Blush and Brighten blush shade in Pink Grapefruit. I think this blush is a really lovely colour. It is looking a little bit stark against this foundation, unfortunately, and it is a bit sheeny. I think we find that with some of these Laura Geller products. They've got this kind of sheen about them, which is rather nice, rather pretty, but I wonder, is it too much? Now, in some of my earlier videos, I've tried Laura Geller eyeshadows, and while the colours in the palettes were really, really beautiful, I just found there wasn't a lot of pigment. And I wanted to know, was that a recurring theme with the Laura Geller palettes, or was it a one-off? And so I have bought 2 more eye palettes. I have bought this one, which is called Laura's Essentials Blushing and Blissful 12 Multi-Finish Eyeshadows. Oh, 1 highlighter and 1 blush. So there's more than just eyes in this palette. And this palette here is called Seasonless Staples Raining Rose Eyeshadow Palette. So let us see what we have in here. So in this first one here, we have a range of very nice, light, wearable kind of pinks and beiges and browns, mixture of mattes and shimmers. There is a highlight and there is a blush. Although to be honest, that blush, I think this is the blush, is looking very, very light in colour. And this is our other palette. I've just had a mishap with that. I've managed to gouge one of the colours while I was taking the protective sheet off. But these are not too dissimilar to the other palette actually. Let's see if we can compare. We have got some nice beiges, pinks, golds, bronzes. Let us compare it to the other palette. Here we go. Very, very similar. Are they the same shades? I'm going to have to check the names to see if we've actually bought the same shades. Let's make a start on our eye look using this palette. So I'm pleasantly surprised so far. I think there's a bit more pigment in these eyeshadows than there was in the other palette that I tested. And yeah, I think these are looking quite nice. So to continue with this eye look, I have a couple of eye pencils to try. I have a Kajal Longwear eyeliner in Smoky Amethyst Coal. I like the sound of that. And I also have this waterproof gel eyeliner in Brown Sugar. So I am thinking to use maybe this one on the lower lash, and this one I might give myself a thicker than usual line along the upper lash with this amethyst colour. This is really chunky looking. I can't wait to give this a go. So that has gotten me a really thick, chunky eyeline. So also in my haul, I have this magnifying mascara kit. This is a duo, so there is a black and a brown in here. It actually says night and day, so the idea here is I think that the brown is for the day and the black is for the night, and I am going to give the brown one a go today. So that's an interesting mascara. I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing almost like a soft focus on the lashes, a bit different to the usual. So also to try today, I have this matte lip mousse, and it is in the shade Bare Beige. And this is what it looks like. But I'm realising I don't have any Laura Geller lip liners. So I'm going to dip into my Kylie lip liners, use one of those, and then we'll try this mousse lip. There is our lip in Bare Beige. So there is our completed Laura Geller today, featuring the porcelain shade of Baked, Balance and Brighten, and how to know that your foundation is too light for your skin. What do you think? Have I managed to salvage this look? I think it's certainly too light for my usual look, but this look might even be some people's cup of tea. So what do you think? Thank you so much for watching my video. If you love Laura Geller, then check out one of my other videos here. And I have a huge favour to ask. If you aren't yet subscribed, please, please, please hit that subscribe button. I'm so close now to hitting that 1,000 subscriber milestone, and I'd really appreciate your help in getting there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.